Hey guys, and today we're going to be reacting to actually happened videos. And I think we're only going to be reacting to one, and that one is my mom hid the truth about who my dad was. So let's read it.
What would I do?
I need
What wouldn't you do?
Read
It's
it.
Las Vegas.
Let's skip ahead.
Hey guys, my name is Courtney. I'm 14 years old. Tell me, have you ever wished for something really badly for a long time?
Yeah, that's actually true. I really am wishing for, what do you call it again? I'm wishing for a dollhouse, and I really want to get that, but like I've never been able to get that because like, dollhouses are way too much money, and I was thinking about getting it for my birthday or something, but then I said no, I'm not gonna get that for my birthday.
But when you got it, the only thing you wanted to do was move the clock back? Well, I did. All my life, I've lived in a small town in Alabama. It was not New York, but we always had the ocean nearby, and I loved spending my time there. The ocean had been filled in about all my dreams, and even my dark side.
I wish I lived near the seaside because that's a nice place to live. Like you would have nice things to do and stuff, and you wouldn't be that bad. I mean, you get to like swim in the sea. You get to like play in the sand. If you live near the sea, like it's kind of frightening because the sea can sometimes come in and just drown everything. It could tear your house apart. But if you're really like far, like let's say 24 meters away from the sea, then you would be fine. I don't think the sea would really come in that close.
I lived there with my mom and my grandma. My dad was an FBI agent and had to work undercover. I had never seen him in my whole life, but my mom encouraged me to just wait for him to come back, and I waited every day.
It's kind of sad because he probably never came back until she grew older. I feel like that's what this story is actually about, but let's just see.
Been the meaning of my life since childhood, but it seemed like his work was far too important. One day when I came back from school, I saw men's boots in our hallway. Could it be my dad? I went into the kitchen with my legs all shaky. There was a perfect dinner on the table. Candles were lit, and there was wine. Couldn't have looked more romantic. My mother was sitting at the table with a man. He didn't look like an FBI agent, and it didn't seem that he was looking forward to meeting me, his daughter. The shock left me speechless. It definitely wasn't my father. I rushed to my room as quick as I could and burst into tears. When my mother came into the room to talk to me, I demanded an explanation.
Oh my gosh. Her mom probably just wants to be with someone else or something. Because sometimes things don't get as planned, and you don't want to be with the man that you normally made a child with. And sometimes like divorces happen, emotional stuff, and then you find another guy and you think that he's better. But then it ends up, if you have children, it's gonna make them really sad that they can't see their dad again just because you're with another man. And it will make them sad for some time, but they're gonna have to get over it.
I couldn't believe that my mom could do this to my dad. And then she confessed that my real dad wasn't an FBI agent and didn't work undercover. Mom wasn't even sure if he knew he had a daughter. She said that she had made up this story for me about my courageous dad so that I didn't feel miserable and
Oh, so it wasn't true. That's kind of sad, and I wasn't expecting that. But no matter the stories that you tell your kids, like they're gonna find out obviously someday in their life. It's not gonna like stick in their head forever because they're gonna grow up, be more mature, and they're gonna listen more about what things and stuff. Like it's not that easy to trick somebody and then not expect them to find out.
alone. In fact, she didn't even know where he was. That was the starting point. My whole life had been completely ruined within a second. I headed to the water to think it all over. I couldn't cope with my anger at my mom or my dad, who must have been having a good time somewhere. I even felt angry at the whole world. That was the day when I wished for it. I wished to get out of that town. I wished the ocean would just wash my grief away along with the whole town and all those traitors. And it didn't take long for my prayers to be answered. It started when I was at school one day. I remember looking out the window. The wind was blowing trees and bushes over. The power lines were swinging around. The ditches started to flood. Then the roads, and then the yards. It was finished as quickly as it started. When I was going home, I wasn't even sure if home was still there. There were a lot of people looking for their stuff and rescue workers searching under the debris in order to find any survivors. I was stunned. Maybe it was my fault for making that wish, or maybe it was just a gigantic coincidence. I came up to our yard to see that there was no house anymore. Police cars, ambulances. One came for my grandma. She was badly hurt during the storm. When my mother saw me, she squeezed me in her arms and said, "I'm so happy you're alive." There was no time to grieve. We had to just start all over. My mother decided to move us to New Jersey because we had family there. She tried to persuade me that it was going to be fine and that we would get through this. With a heavy heart, we left the only home I'd ever known. It seemed like my dream was coming true, but for some reason, I wasn't satisfied at all.
Well, she did want to leave, but she's kind of sad now. It's very saddening. Because you know about when you wish for a dream, and then it doesn't come true, and then it doesn't turn out the way you want it to be. Like when you see everybody's hopes and dreams getting crushed, it hurts you too. I mean, it's basically like a smile. When you smile at somebody, they smile too, and they become happy. When you see someone happy, you become happy. But when you see someone sad, you're gonna become sad too, because it just spreads to whoever you're around.
Though my uncle generously let us live with him, we all fell on hard times. There was not enough space in the house. My mother and my grandma and I had to share one small room together. We were out of money. My poor mom had to find a job to make a living. I had to go to a new school and take care of grandma. But the thought that it was actually me who made the wish that it would all happen was killing me the most. Could I really have wished for so many people that I loved to suffer so much? I saw my mom come back home really late every night. She was so exhausted, but nevertheless she always tried to make conversation. My grandma was the worst. She had spent all her life in a peaceful place near the ocean, and now she was just quietly sitting in a room and watching TV all day long. As for me, my new school was okay, but I didn't belong there. I missed home badly. One late evening when everybody was asleep, my mom asked me to go into the kitchen. We sat at the table together. Suddenly, Mom grabbed my hand and gave me a folded piece of paper. "Now there," she said quickly. I wondered what it was, and she answered, "I hope it is the key to what you've been looking for," and left. I looked at the note, and there was a telephone number and the word, Dad. I couldn't sleep that night. On the one hand, I wanted to call, but something kept stopping me. The note with the number in my pocket seemed as heavy as a huge stone. Days passed by, but I still couldn't find the courage to call. Meanwhile, Christmas Eve was coming. Mother and I went to the supermarket to buy some food. We chatted and laughed. And on the way back home, we went to this park near the river. I was looking at my mom, and I was so thankful for her. I realized that all my dreams and wishes meant nothing. The only thing I wanted was my family to be happy and safe. All of a sudden, I said, "I'm not going to call." And I took the note out of my pocket and threw it into the water. My mom looked very surprised, but I think that was a moment of relief for both of us. I don't know what is going to happen next, or where it is going to take us, but what I do know for sure is that I will figure out my priorities. Of course, there's no magic in the world, and I'm not the one to blame for the hurricane. But I believe that we all have to be careful with our dreams and wishes, because they are likely to come true. Have you ever regretted your wish?
Okay, guys, so I think that will be it. And I know I only did one video, but I can barely do even enough because it's hard to do that. So I guess that'll be about it. And see you later. Bye, guys.